to Go-Kart Masters Academy. Today we're going to look at how to start your Trailmaster mid-size go-kart. This process will work for a mid-XRX and a mid-XRX-R. The first thing that we want to do is make sure that your fuel valve is turned on. This is on the driver's side on the bottom of the fuel tank. You'll see that it can go to the top or to the bottom as long as that switch is vertical, and when it's to the side, that's going to stop your fuel flow. You'll also want to look here on the side of the air filter box and make sure that the fuel valve is pushed towards the front of the cart. You'll see that it's indicated by the sticker as well as etched into the metal there. Now back at the front of your go-kart where the dash is, we have our key, which just has an on and off position. We have a choke lever that you'll see that it retracts itself when you let go of it, so in order to choke it, you actually have to pull out on it. This black button is your electric start button. You'll want to push that choke back in after you let your cart warm up. And then the red button is a shut off. You push and hold that to make sure that the cart shuts off. And then here we have a horn button. Parents, if you would like to disconnect these horns, they simply unhook from the wiring harness up at the front of the cart behind the horn and the headlight. This toggle switch is an on and off switch for your headlights. Now the headlights will turn off automatically when the key is turned to the off position, so you don't have to worry about that running your battery down. But I want to show you here, these are LED lights, and even in the daylight, you can see that they turn on and off. They're pretty bright. And those are the horns, the silver things on the outside of the headlights. And all of that plugs into a wiring harness just behind the frame, behind each component. Now you want to make sure that your cart is in neutral. That's the center position on the shifter. Turn your key to the on position. Pull this choke lever and make sure you hold it out. You see that it goes back in if you let go. And then press and hold this button. Sometimes you have to hold it for a couple seconds, but usually it'll start right up. You want to leave this choke lever pulled out for 30 seconds to a minute while the engine warms up. Once it's warm, you want to push that lever back into the dash and let it continue to run for 30 seconds to a minute before you take off. And the red button is a shut-off button. It's a kill switch for the engine. You always want to test this every time you start your go-kart. Now, on a brand new go-kart that is the first time starting, or if you've had your fuel shut off for a while the cart was in storage, you may find that you're not getting any fuel flow. So if you're certain that there is fuel in the tank and that all the valves are in their correct position, take your hands and wrap them around the throat with the fuel tank and blow into that, or if you don't want to put your mouth too close, smack it with your palms sealed around the top of that throat. And that'll force some of the fuel down into the lines and get it going. Make sure you put this cap back on securely. And one last thing before you start riding, make sure that if there's not a passenger in the cart, go ahead and buckle these seat belts up. You'll see that we left some plastic on ours trying to save the seats as much as possible, but I think it's about done. But you do want to go ahead and buckle up all of these buckles onto your harnesses, because if you don't, they will drag the ground, and I'll show you what happens when the kids forget to buckle them up. Here is one of the buckles on another cart that the kids forgot to buckle, and you can see it's just completely gone. There's no more latch. And what happens is this can actually reach back to the rear tires when you're driving, and it flops around all over the ground and the dirt and the gravel and the rocks, and it'll tear it up. So keep those buckled, make sure everything's safe, and get back to fun. Thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.